Players are confirmed ready. Here's the restart. In just a little bit, we'll be going. I think we're just confirming for Hiko, knife mid or long, and let yourselves pick. They're going to go to long. Honestly, it doesn't matter too much to me, but if you want to know the standard spread on this map, you can feel comfortable with an 8-7 split, a 9-6 sort of half if it's favoring the T's. Anything other than that, you may see a deviation such that people can't climb back into the race. Stabby,
Even
stabby.
so far, no knife strat this time.
I'm going to refrain from casting knife rounds, but you can.
I'm good on casting it, but I expected some Ohik flank, but he didn't make it happen.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah, Ohik. Okay.
iBUYPOWER will stay on the slightly favored terrace side in just a moment. The map, the match, the teams that we've all been waiting for will begin what I've described as a titanic clash. Really, a heavyweight bout.
Yeah, this is arguably your two best teams in North America currently going at it once again. As I said, the rematch of the rematch of the rematch. So it's always entertaining to watch these two teams because they keep it so close.
Your prediction is 16-13. I'm going to go with 16-14. No overtime, but I'm thinking, because it's us two, that 16-14 seems perfectly reasonable to me.
I could see that. Either way, I think it's going to be really close. 16-13 or 16-14. I hope it stays close. I mean,
no luck wished by Hiko to his opposing team, but he does wish them at least a good time. You're watching CEVO TV. I'm Cotton. My partner is misled for this evening. Thank you for joining us late on this evening or early in the morning or wherever it is that you've joined us from. CompLexity versus iBUYPOWER in a best of 3. The map you are watching, of course, is Dust 2. In the opening, well, the opening is a slow play, a slow opening to control Palm Tree. Anger is the closest CT to the action. He is beyond the double doors and will not identify them unless he presses his ears up against that wall. He's going to push. They flashed him out, and they're doing kind of what you've asked them to do. Be aggressive. Still, it's a bunch look. It's a bunch walk turned into a bunch run into A. That nade is actually a decoy, if you can't see it on high enough resolution, into the CT spawn, and the Glock will be an illusion as if a T is underneath trying to hold off rotates. Probably a smart decision, but of course the decoy will be out in open space. Sempus has a shot, and maybe a second has AZK on the recoil, and the second, the withdraw back to the corner. 3 alive for the T's, and they double up in the site, triple up in the site, and they ambush Sempus, not allowing him to get back in the site. On the ramp is 2 bunched up, and Daze could get 2 easy headshots here, or at least make this a 2 versus 1. Swag is the last one alive, trying to hold off the platform, and on this site, on the platform, are 2 CTs. The defuse is already going, nothing's already got it, turned around, 1 tap on the last bullet. Swag starts us off with the fireworks. 1 round for iBUYPOWER.
Wow, the move there, iBUYPOWER working their way down mid, eventually getting to Cat, taking down the first player, only leaving Anger at long, waiting for his teammates to rotate with him. They retook very well. That was a 1 versus 2 there, and the player covering was not able to get the shot off to kill the final terrorist to protect his teammate who was defusing.
That was an enormous play. And also, I'm not even sure if Swag realized how few bullets he had left. He kind of looked at it, he kind of kept clicking like, oh, well, it's a good thing I shot him in the face.
Yeah, at that point you have to just be happy if you weren't aware of how many bullets you had left.
Amazing plays. Very, very good. And nothing is just so disappointed because A, he must have been very close to done with the defuse. He had to have been close to done. B, that was the last bullet, man. That's soul crushing.
Yeah, man, that was so tight. If your teammate could have just got a little bit more damage, you would have stopped him.
Mid control is how we're going to play out this round for iBUYPOWER as they cruise up, gather up into a bunch formation, and they've gone to the early bunch ISO pick. And that's probably a good way to play this to protect the guns in case they're dropped. CompLexity has 3 waiting. The firing squad claimed Sean Gares, and Daze dances back and forth, comes up with a triple on the round already. 2 left, and that's okay. Hiko underneath the elevator along with Sempus. He's still the last one alive, and with the CZs turned this into a 2-on-1. He could try to figure out a creative way to... Oh, he's got the bomb! CZ justice! What a good eco round, though. Really. No bomb plant, 4 rebuys. That's a success.
Yeah, as ecos go here, you didn't allow the other team to plant the bomb, so they don't get money for that. You're going to force 4 rebuys here, so it's going to hurt their economy a little bit. I mean, if they win this round, they're still going to be good to go. But CompLexity's in a position now that they can buy and try and steal this away from iBUYPOWER, which will hurt them for 2 rounds.
Steel has decided to run down Dark, or otherwise affectionately referred to as Suicide, and he's protected by his teammates, one above him in T-spawn and one behind him at the boxes inside the Dark. Oh, through the wall! Sean Garrett just gets a little bit aggressive, trying to dance back and forth, and he's claimed by the high-caliber rounds of the Galeels and the AKs. He's gone, and at least 4 defenders for the CTs know that this is conspicuously vacant, and Semphis has to play it from a long distance, or at least hope that the B defender, okay, Hiko, can make long-distance, big plays. iBUYPOWER knows that there's a gap here, Luca, and they're not going to exploit it. They're hoping that the rotates happen in such a way that it favors them.
This might be a good stack, though, for them at long A right here.
Well, they've guessed that the rotate happened from A. It actually happened from B. Hiko's taken over mid, and the forces at A are still intact. Nothing has a double, and if he picks up a triple, then all of this work is suddenly gone. There's the peak, and Semphis lets Daze get away. He's got to be slapping himself for that. That was the chance to take the lead in the round. Hiko waits at mid, maybe sees Semphis coming through the, Steel coming through the door, and maybe picks up a double with Daze behind the Xbox. Piercing kill and the bomb gets dropped, but he doesn't know it. Swag is the last, and never count Swag out. His aim is clearly on point today. 2 alive for CompLexity. Nothing in Semphis. They go to cover the bomb, and Swag clearly can't reach the bomb, not just yet. They'll hear each other in mere moments. Dives to the bomb. 1 above him. Semphis claims it. No 3 free rounds for iBUYPOWER. It's 2-1.
Yeah, this is going to hurt iBUYPOWER. Not as much as I thought it would. They should be able to save out of this round, especially if they force some rebuys here. Maybe steal a gun and save it. So it's going to put them in a position where it's going to get tied up here, or it should, unless iBUYPOWER is able to eco extremely hard. But CompLexity is going to look to try and tie this up with the gun advantage now.
The play is a triple. 4 actually to the B tunnels, with Daze moving toward the palm tree. And clearly if they are that close to lower B, they'll either flash up to the catwalk or they will move to speed to mid. And if they have 1 flash, that's all they need. Dazed, of course, the number 9 man stands at palm, has the long distance pop flash ready, and as soon as it crosses the threshold of that back wall, he maybe throws it. Or he'll do some preliminary scouting, actually. He's making an awful lot of noise, though.
Yeah, allowing players to know where you are in that situation. Might have been trying to throw a little bit of fake there. And there goes the nades on catwalk.
There's that flashbang. The rest of the action happens now. Long distance, nothing is here to support. Has 2 and maybe a 3rd. There it is. The P2000 has claimed its last victim. Skadoodle's down, and Steel, the last one alive with his bomb. And a CZ is facing some rather unfavorable odds.
Yeah, it's going to be tough here, but I don't know if you caught nothing. Just absolutely terrorizing Skadoodle with a random shot.
I think Steel wants this 1-tap. He's not going to get it, though. Clever move, but nothing, of course, on point with his piercing shots. 2-2, it's all tied up. And, of course, we're not at all surprised that it's tied up.
Yeah, 4K there for nothing to lock that down. And they only forced 1 rebuy, which isn't going to hurt CompLexity much, but iBUYPOWER is going to go for the buy here. So this is going to force them very, very low on money. And CompLexity, if they're able to hold this round on CT side, this is going to put them at least 2 more rounds ahead.
Expect nothing and Semphis' scoreline to be very good by the end of the half if they play mid the entirety of the half and if they play well, because a CT side that plays well rewards its mid players with a lot of kills, and I think they will be the beneficiaries that Skadoodle comes rounding back around. And know that his money's somewhat suppressed, so he's working with an AK right now where he probably, on Dust 2, might want an op.
Yeah, I'm curious why we don't have the op in Skadoodle's hands yet.
Well, we can take a look at his finances. I sincerely doubt that he could afford it. Yeah, with his needs for utility nades and armor and whatever else he decided to buy, I don't think the op was within reach.
Not armor, but I think he had enough cash just to buy an op. So
yeah. Glass cannon's also an option, I suppose.
Yeah, he can. If anyone's going to be able to do it, it's going to be Skadoodle.
Got the momentary high-low between AZK and Steel forfeited for Steel to move down to the double doors and lead with the bomb. This makes me a little scared. This makes me very scared. They've moved out into mid. The number 2 man comes out. He has no idea. Hiko's waiting. Here's a shadow. Sees a shadow. Excuse me. A double. Maybe moves out for a triple. And maybe not a quad. That would have been very, very impressive. In a spray through, nothing would claim an extra... Oh! The vision. The amazing vision. Just barely saw the top of Skadoodle's cranium and claimed the kill. One left, and it happens to be Swag again, who I guess has been in this position multiple times before. High-low in spawn, one at the box and one boosted on top of the box. That's a lead for CompLexity, 3-2.
Those are the trades right there. Hiko won. That was huge for him. His one death was able to bring down 3 terrorists, almost 4 there, but he was able to make the call, which eventually led to the 4th terrorist dying. 5th tried to wrap his way through B, had to go down to try and get the bomb, but those are the trades you need to be winning right there. If you're able to get 3 before you go down, or at least 2 before you go down, you are going to win these rounds, and that's what CompLexity is doing right now.
Slow play. iBUYPOWER takes it very, very tentatively. They're apparently conscious of the fact that CompLexity recently in game tape has shown that they want to push out Catwalk or maybe send a fast player to pick through the doors, and look at Sean Gare just lying in wait. Has a close op shot. AZK falls mysteriously and his teammates just have to decide, we're going to try to charge him. We have to try to charge him. Nothing's gun is too far away, and iBUYPOWER needs to move across the top of this open platform and risk getting shot by Anger. Drop into the spawn is not a terribly great idea, and Anger comes to clean up the rest of the players. He'll have the defuse, and CompLexity will lead by 2.
iBUYPOWER only able to force 1 re-ride there, but they were able to get the plant down, so that's going to help them money-wise. It should bring them back. Let me take a peek. Yeah, they're going to be able to buy this round, and I do believe Skadoodle is in op range here. Let's see if he goes for it.
The game plan for a lot of Dust 2 teams is a double scope look. At least iBUYPOWER wants to have 1, and yes, Skadoodle has gone with the op purchase. I'd like to see him pick this round. His timing's just a little off.
See what he can do.
I don't think he wants to reveal the fact that he has an op. He's not shooting.
He's not taking any guess shots, so...
And he is one to typically do that. I have a floating sticker on Hiko's weapon right now that's making me very annoyed. It's gone now. Double push into the B tunnels. And take a look at the positioning of Swag. He waits at the stairs. He will catch Sean Gares if he sees the top of the head. And Sean Gares is too fast! Ooh. Simply too fast. Lightning reflexes, and Swag is removed already. They drop back, and mid-control for iBUYPOWER is still held. But now, a bit more timidly, or not, or Skadoodle will trade out Sean Gares. Never mind. Next entry, good. Dazed has nothing, and he will not press the site. Flashes down into CT and flashes across to long, allowing himself time for his teammates to recoup and gather. I like this smoke, Luca.
I like that a lot, too. It's good protection there, but I really like how Anger is playing long A right now. Nice and slow until his teammates are getting close. It's a good position until Skadoodle got him.
Anger put a shot just wide of Skadoodle and, of course, was punished very quickly after. 1 man to retake the entire site. It's our number 2 man, Hiko, who looks back up toward Dazed, who finishes the round with a triple. And iBUYPOWER cuts the lead a little, 4-3.
So what we saw there, Skadoodle's op was able to pay dividends, excuse me. He was able to get 2 frags there, which is a big help. But iBUYPOWER was just able to outshoot right there. They were able to make their shots connect, whereas CompLexity was not able to do that. But they're playing smart, and they're a little bit more aggressive. Sean Gare is getting aggressive in B, was able to pick up 1 on the lower B stairs.
Still no guess shots by Skadoodle, and I guess the question is why. Assuming that maybe if he shoots, the bolt pull time will allow somebody to slip through the double doors, maybe push into lower B tunnels. It's not too big of a risk to try the shot.
You can still get the call off, though, which at this point I feel is the important thing. Both teams should be able to aim well enough that you may not have to kill him, but a call is going to save a teammate.
We are, of course, seeing the 3-1-1 split of the CT side, and as iBUYPOWER has not really at all tested the bomb site B, where Hiko is currently stationed, CompLexity has no reason to go to the traditional 2-1-2, and I think this might be the round. Still, I think the way that Hiko's reading this and to his teammates in comms is saying, you know, don't rotate, that smoke for CT is probably a fake, don't do it, but really, we know better. And now that we have X-Ray and he's got people in his face, he's got to make the play. Steps out, has 1 and 2, at least he does his job. Semphis has another, and that means that the battle is on. The rotates are coming through from all directions, and iBUYPOWER holds on to the site, but just barely. They can't get the bomb plant down because of the presence of CTs near the door. And Days and Studel Nuts just have to skirmish. They've really just got to skirmish. Semphis is down 2 versus 2, and they've done a good job making sure that they've got the site secured.
Oh, if nothing, get the flank.
If. And he does. Daze is the last. Inside the smoke at the back of the site is flashed and then looks back. Has both in his face, and he comes back out to a firing squad. CompLexity will win this round. The economic implications for iBUYPOWER are not terribly grave, but know that they should be leading on this map. 5-3 is a major victory for Dust 2 CTs.
Yeah, especially in the early rounds. A lot of the times, even when these two end up being close, T's take an early lead until the CTs are able to adjust and work off how iBUYPOWER, or off the T's play, which would be iBUYPOWER. But CompLexity right now is hitting their shots, and Hiko is making the trades that I was talking about. Before he goes down, only player in B, getting rushed, was able to get 2 before he goes down. Those are the trades that they need to win, and they are. Oh, wow.
We missed it. We missed it. Do describe it to us.
Skadoodle was jumping across T-spawn from outside B. Literally, split second shot. Didn't peek, just jumped across, and he just got absolutely ripped.
If only we had seen it. Darn it. Sean Gears will smoke mid. And it's a 4 versus 4 right now. Now a 4 versus 3. Steel's down, who tried to peek aggressively without the assistance of his teammates. And of course, the thinking there is Orthodox Counter-Strike play will tell you to wait for a grenade to go off, wait for a support player nearby, and if Steel goes off-tempo and scares somebody who's not prepared, then maybe he could have claimed an easy kill. Now that opportunity is lost, and guess who's left? It's Swag, again.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be the 1 versus 4 here. Swag, if he's able to at least drop a gun or 2, I think it'll be somewhat successful for him, but I can't see him getting the 1 versus 4 clutch here.
He's got the bomb in 50 seconds. Not a whole lot of opportunities to do. Oh, I thought he almost picked that up. He does pick up nothing, and I think he may have gotten duped with that where that player was, because as soon as he connected with that headshot, his crosshair came down a little bit. Still rounds over 6-3. CompLexity is doubling iBUYPOWER's score. And take a look at the economy now.
Yeah, that is definitely going to be in favor of CompLexity here, but it's still getting a little bit low here. A lot of their players are dying. The rounds are becoming very close here. So if CompLexity isn't able to continue their winning streak, it'll force them into a save off of just 1 loss.
iBUYPOWER looks to turn up the pace of the game. They're moving through lower B quickly and moving down to C's mid quickly, and they'll establish perhaps the high-low at Xbox. They've dinked Semphis, and Semphis backs off, becoming a new support player, letting Hiko take over at mid. He'll drop out and take over B. And iBUYPOWER waits and chooses to push through smoke, perhaps incorrectly. Nothing claims an easy kill. Swag is down, and Sean Gears connects, saving his teammate because nothing was dropping in midair. 3 alive for the CTs in anger. Sees everybody, has a piercing kill on AZK, and then will probably pick up a second one, and maybe even a third right there. Nice flank.
Yeah, good aggressive flank there, even though it was an eco round, so you could be a little bit more aggressive. But I do like the play there from Hiko, and I believe it was Semphis that actually rotated backwards after they took a lot of damage. I think between the two of them, they had less than 10 health, and they both got a little aggressive, drop back out, so they didn't lose their weapons and had to rebuy, because if you saw, Hiko's money was very low at the end, or after the buy from last round.
Very impressed with CompLexity's ability to digest information and know that rounds like this are easily ecoed if they don't play this to perfection. So they stamped out iBUYPOWER's hopes quickly and efficiently and turned that round into a quick win. Speaking of quick and efficient, Swag's pot flash catches Sean Gears, and as he was backpedaling, is sprayed down with a 4 burst and gets caught at the top of the stairs. Next is Anger, and it looks like iBUYPOWER is back with a vengeance. Beautiful control with Swag, and probably on the 7th or 8th bullet picks up nothing over the top of the headshot box, and another, but not the 5th. Hiko is the last versus 4, and he'll probably save this up. Now, note at this time, losing this round for iBUYPOWER would be absolutely backbreaking. They have no cash. For CompLexity, they could buy one more time.
Hiko getting a little aggressive here on the catwalk. Looks like I think if he gets a pick, he might actually try for this.
We would love to see it. He's got it. He's picked up with the assist of nothing. A easy kill, and he's going to turn his back right at the wrong moment. AZK finds him leaping down 7-4. iBUYPOWER claims another round, and probably just a little bit of reprieve. Not a whole lot, but just enough.
Man, at that point there, when you're Hiko, you either got to commit to trying to save that, or you got to commit to going for it. You can't get a kill on catwalk and try and run back out, because you got to know the long guys are going to be pushing, and they're going to push very fast. And if they're remotely close to long double doors, you're going to get smoked down mid trying to get off catwalk.
We have a complete change of pace here. Flashed in, and Swag is running backwards to press everybody into smoke, and Anger was waiting. Changing a game pace is one thing, but doing it effectively is an entirely different matter, and Anger was ready. Now Nothing steps out possibly too aggressively, and AZK claims him. The trades are on, and even though AZK didn't have his crosser on him, manages to claim a kill and another. For the round, AZK has a triple. He goes the last again, thinking, what the hell happened? We had them sort of penned up. We knew that they had gone for a speed play, and still, it all fell apart.
Yeah, that fell apart there. AZK was able to just connect with his shots there, make those shots happen, whereas Anger and his teammates weren't quite able to pull their spray down. And it looks like iBUYPOWER is really starting to come back here. They're starting to, and Steel almost just did a ton of damage to himself with that grenade.
I don't even, yeah, what?
That had to have been a mouse slip.
Yeah, I think he might have misclicked at some point. Skadoodle flicks up trying to claim an ecoing mid player, probably Semphis, but he doesn't. And on this round, we've got to lean toward A. 4 are in and around the site or at the elevator position, and that pop flash didn't work. It landed just too shallow. Steel's flash and didn't do any good there. Second one in, and now he peeks. He's very cautious here, and I think they're treating this the exact same way. They know Nothing likes to play in that back corner, so they're going to try to nade him out, but I've counted. There have been a total of 4 errant nades this round. It's very, very sloppy for iBUYPOWER, in this round at least.
Yeah, one right off the break, almost just wrecking Steel.
And Skadoodle, uncharacteristically, missing a shot over the top of the bricks at the top of Cat. So they've identified the position, and still, CompLexity holds the line. They have not dropped back. That's a fake smoke, and iBUYPOWER will go back up Cat. They've got Hiko pushing. He's picked up an AK, and Steel might get claimed here. Nope, he gets traded. That bomb, or that, not the bomb, the gun is dropped, and now there's a flank. AZK puts a shot over the top of his opponent's heads, who are waiting in CT spawn. They'll still be able to plant the bomb, and they'll still likely move away from this round mostly clean. Yeah, 7-6. The lead is cut. The lead is gone. It's 7-6.
It's going to end up being a very close half here. CompLexity definitely wants to finish this at least on the better half of this with a 1-round advantage to their name, which is going to help them on T side quite a bit. Generally, this is pretty T-sided. But they're doing well here. They held on early, but iBUYPOWER seems like they're coming back very strong right now. They're hitting their shots very well, and they are winning the exchange battles.
We have a match pause, and apparently Sean Gears is having difficulties with this server. We'll find out in a moment whether or not we'll be transferring servers or having his issue resolved. Skadoodle trying to Dr. Phil him, saying, I used to have that problem. And then I saw Spangler, and he helped me fix all my problems.
And then I saw Spangler. Spangler is like, he's a magician. He's a Counter-Strike magician. Comes in, fixes problems, makes everything go away,
yes.
and he does it fast.
I think any league should be jealous of Spangler not being on their staff. He's a blessing to have, really.
The good thing about it is every single match that we have going, Spangler's here. So if we have issues, he's right on top of it. There's no delays. There's no
He's Batman.
Craziness. And he just fixes it. It's awesome.
He's CEVO Batman.
Big props to Spangler for just being on top of it. This guy must live in Counter-Strike land of server fixing. I don't know.
That was not... you lost it, but...
I lost it.
Yeah.
I tried to pull it back, but it was gone. It was just far gone. We're going to go live, though.
What the hell are we doing again? Gun round. And Skadoodle wielding it off is looking down mid. They've successfully crossed over, and they've stacked. CompLexity has A. We're fully flashed on every screen here, and it's a showdown of sorts. Practically all... Oh, Steel's on a huge flank. A massive, massive flank. And while the action happens on the other side of the map, Semphis gets taken down by Steel, who just walked in unabated to the site. Hiko and Sean Gears are the last two left, and look at the ninja play by Sean Gears, who had a little bit of problems trying to locate his shot. AZK takes him down at long, leaving Hiko versus 3, and Hiko's been in this position far too many times. If he can get an early kill, he can't. Steel's just too fast. He would have had a chance. 7-7, and if the half ends 8-7, honestly, CompLexity will have done their job. Maybe they're a little bit depressed at having lost some of their early heat, but really, they should be satisfied with what they've done.
Yeah, this is going to be a hard round for them to win right here, so more than likely it'll be 8-7 iBUYPOWER. As you can see, they're having to force whatever they can here. There's a swag, 2 swags, a deagle, 2 FAMASes. Not all that much head armor here against the AKs, so...
We have a speed play in B tunnels, and thus far, Steel claims the first. He has Semphis down, who pushed into the lower B tunnels. We've, of course, called that out before. That's been on tape, and CompLexity has shown that a few too many times. The long swag attempt, and nothing claims Steel. Maybe we'll trade out his gun. Anger waits in the site. 3 are trying to enter now, and Anger does adequate damage, and then drops back out. 3 versus 3, and it's going to be tough to plant the bomb for iBUYPOWER. Anger thinks players were crossing, but of course, with our cheating X-ray abilities, we know that that never happened. Bomb's yet to be planted, and if he peeks, Skadoodle's got him. He's missed! And he gets traded. 2 versus 2 again. Daze and AZK just taking their time. A minute left. There's absolutely no reason to force this, and nothing waits beyond smoke. Of course, Sean Gares waits beyond the wall. No action to be taken. The comms right now between CompLexity are hold, hold, hold. Nobody's planting. I haven't heard a beep. Just play very fast. And Sean Gares is gambling that nobody's going to walk out of the DDs.
Man, the lag is so real right now. I don't... Oh, it's dropping, though. It is dropping quite a bit, so he might be useful during this.
Good. Daze is planted, and now it's on the CompLexity players to make the play. In the window, Dazed claims Sean Gares, and AZK will do the same for nothing. The half has ended. You're watching CEVO TV. I am Cotton. My partner is Misled. iBUYPOWER up by 1 in a best of 3. This is the first map, if you didn't know. Thank you to our partners, of course, at CSGO Lounge and game servers for all of this. And of course, the Batman admin, Spangler.
Batman admin.
You want to try that one? Or we should just let it lie?
We'll just let it lie. Just
give
let
me your
sleeping
thoughts.
dogs rest.
Give me your thoughts on the half.
CompLexity came out extremely strong there. They're playing that a little bit more aggressive than they normally would. It was CT side though, so they played a little bit more aggressive. Took early rounds there, but then iBUYPOWER started hooking up. They got a lot of traction. They started hitting their shots, and they were winning the trade battles. That earlier CompLexity was winning those 1 versus 3 trade battles. That Hiko, I think he did it twice, if not 3 times. So they started turning those around and doing it in their favor, and they brought it home.
CompLexity has sent many players down mid to force the mid controllers out of their position, spamming Glock fire in to push them backwards, and they'll try to move up the catwalk and come to a sudden halt as Steel is on top and waiting above Hiko. Here's the first shot. No good for him. Now he calls for help. He needs a team to flash him, or at least a teammate to flash him, and he lost that chance. 2 alive for iBUYPOWER. Swag and AZK are on station, on call, if you will. CompLexity has to know that right now they can't afford to make any mistakes, and peeking Swag was just the wrong move. So him waiting there after shooting at AZK, excuse me, him waiting there after shooting at the long player, he had to know that somebody else was coming to clean him up. That person was not going to peek him again.
Yeah, that was a big round there. CompLexity was able to tie that up, get that pistol round. So as long as they don't get ecoed here, they're going to be in good shape to try and take these 2-round lead.
Looks like CompLexity comes out to a slow opening with 1 player to control the B tunnel. That's Hiko. And a 3-man stack at long for the ecoing iBUYPOWER team. For the most part on Dust 2, we've seen the spread ISO pick, which is of course how most players see Dust 2. We've yet to see the really European bunch ISO pick and the bunch ISO pick roll. CompLexity is one of those teams that embraces that sort of playstyle, and you may see it this game, but know that if iBUYPOWER is not intimidated, if iBUYPOWER gets a little pushy, gets a little aggressive, it could all fall apart, and this second half offensive really hinges on the discipline of CompLexity's offense, and the preparedness, really. Semphis is the first one up, acting as the entry fragger, and he'll give it up to nothing. 4 on the catwalk. And I guess I said they're not going to see the bunch ISO pick. This is the bunch ISO pick, and it didn't go well. Daze claims the first kill. Skadoodle's nearby at the car, calling for shots, trying to hit a headshot there, but without the ability to do significant damage to chests, he's not as effective. Daze has a double with a 5-7, maybe a triple, and perhaps a quad. And 1 more at the catwalk, looking for the rotates as Hiko cutting out iBUYPOWER's AZK and looking perhaps for swag. Still fighting is Dazed. He is a thorn in their side, unable to be removed from the bomb site. Double ramp. They're having 1 player peek. Look at Dazed. Look at our number 9 sitting on the ramp.
Oh, and on the site, is so real.
Dazed gets cleaned up. Or, excuse me, Hiko is cleaned up, and Dazed finishes off the job with 4 huge plays. Absolutely huge plays.
Man, the play there at long A with Dazed on the ramp and Skadoodle towards the car at long, just popping back and forth, trading peeks there, keeping CompLexity on their toes, trying to aim across the sides there. Didn't work out for him. iBUYPOWER was able to bring that home, and the eco, that is a big round here, and that's going to force CompLexity in probably, oh, Semphis bought a gun. They better win this.
Well,
they better win this.
They're going to follow this, and I don't know if this is an errant buy or if it's an intentional entry frag buy, but clearly there's some methodology behind it now because they're all following Semphis. He peeks and at the back box has AZK, who had a FAMAS and beats the AK, which is not a usual sort of thing. Swag is still on the side holding it, peeking back and forth. He's done a good amount of damage to 2 players. Picks up Anger, maybe another, still on the site and waiting for a teammate to support him. Ducks his head down to make his head disappear beneath the bricks or the boxes, and the cleanup crew is here. Skadoodle has it. iBUYPOWER leads by 2. Let's go back. You've seen the double emo in Inferno. How often do you see the double ramp with 1 person hiding? That was something that was really a treat to watch.
They played it so well, as I said. They traded off peaks there, so it just worked well. Both the players trying to cross over catwalk initially, working their way through playground, were kind of just spraying back and forth. They didn't really know where to peek there. They got caught off guard by it.
Swag has a transferred moving spray that comes across and damages Semphis, brings him down to about 39, and they'll push him even through the doors I don't know, he knows how close nothing is, even with the burst fire Glock. Swag has a triple and maybe a quad, steps back out to fight Hiko, and wins that battle, looking for the ace on the top of the Xbox. This is a CZ battle that Swag does not want to lose. Still, they're calling for the ace, and he may get a no joy here as they spam through the door. Swag completes the ace, and on that round, it's an eco ace, we know, but it was a damn good looking one.
Yeah, eco aces are always good here, but it looks like CompLexity's struggling now. They're not able to hit their shots here. I mean, they lost a huge eco round. An anti-eco completely tore apart by iBUYPOWER and pistols, and that's really going to hurt them. iBUYPOWER's got the momentum here, and we know CompLexity gets in their feelings a little bit. It gets a little hard on themselves. Let's see if they can come back.
Gets all in their feels?
In their feelings.
Anger is close to the door, and that nade does significant damage. Spray down, a transfer, maybe a double, and a trade from his teammate. Nothing, picks up an AK, comes back spraying into the smoke, and knows that Daze is somewhere around here. Picks up that kill as Daze tries to retreat into the pit. The iBUYPOWER team for this round has fallen apart. 2 alive as just Swag and AZK. Now it's just AZK. Our 0 is underneath at the elevator. Still no good. Semphis has him. It's 11-9, and CompLexity cuts the lead just a little bit.
And I quickly wanted to touch on this. I saw people talking about it in chat. The reason why you're able to see people through walls here is X-ray. It's just a viewer thing for us watching, so you're able to see where people are setting up and know what they're doing and how they're reacting based off nades, flashes, smokes, and sounds.
Yeah, very new Counter-Strike viewer-friendly comment there by Luca. It's very true. The X-ray vision is not available to players who are actually playing. Semphis gets a little bit too careless moving across mid, and Swag has an op waiting for him. A gift shot for him was just too easy. Counter smoke, Steel throws, and has a teammate close at the blue. Daze makes no noise, so Steel will do all the running, will do all the shooting, until it's about time for Daze to open up on them. And this could be disastrous for Anger later on in the round, though he lurks. And I'm not sure anybody knows he's there. The standoff here is nobody knows what's going on right there.
Yeah, they're kind of thrown back a little bit here. They've already lost 1 player. Semphis going down early, and Anger in a bad position.
You know, with the smoke in front of him, this is his time to leave, because he's in a bad spot.
I think he's going to get called too quickly and not be able to make the rotate out before the pit player peeks.
He's got teammates here. Pop flashes for him, and he'll have a chance, but I don't know if anybody knows where Dazed is. Dazed is waiting right by the blue, right by the dumpster, and we'll see ahead. 1, 2, and perhaps a 3. Yeah, Steel steals that one, but still, the way that was executed made that absolutely perfect. Absolutely perfect. The bomb is dropped, and Hiko has to go recover it. Facing off against Swag's op is no fun. That's another round win for iBUYPOWER.
It was a good round there. CompLexity got a little bit thrown off. early in the round, man, Semphis, once again, going down, that's going to hurt you. Those 4 versus 5 situations, especially against a team like iBUYPOWER, are so hard to win here. But once again, falling back to the fact, iBUYPOWER is winning the trade battles. They're losing 1 player, but that 1 player is able to take down 2. So, number game in their favor, and it's winning them the rounds.
Remember, this is their map pick. This is iBUYPOWER's map pick. And to some extent, perhaps CompLexity hasn't practiced it. I'm not going to fall back on that as an excuse, clearly, because nice leg shot. Skadoodle has another, and if he just fires 1 more USP bullet, he would have done the trick. There's the shot. Overkill for Semphis. He's down 2 alive for CompLexity. And a spinning shot. Anger shot down at the car, thinking, how the hell did that just happen? At least Sean Gares has a kill in the round. 1 rebuy for AZK, and that leaves our number 4 to defend the site with no bomb and fight the guerrilla war. Picks up swag. Behind him is another player. Shot in the back. No triple for him. iBUYPOWER pulls within 2.
Skadoodle ace.
It was a Skadoodle ace. It's one of those. It's one of those sneaky aces that you don't see because it starts so early and ends so late. But yes, all across the map, Skadoodle with an ace. And if I get the chance, I would love to see the base Skadoodle play today. I would love to see it.
He's hitting flick shots right now that are absolutely nutty. Even though that didn't look like a very hard shot from CT spawn to the guy at double doors.
Looked hard to me.
It was so fast. It was unreal.
And again, Jack-in-the-Box play. Semphis had the CZ shot on top of him. The shot sailed a little high. And, of course, if you miss on a player like Skadoodle, clearly you're not going to make it out of that one alive. I was going to say that, yeah, it's an iBUYPOWER picked map, and it's not too much of an excuse for Cole because it's not like they're not familiar with Dust 2, but let's not read too much into this one as the demise of Cole already because this is not their pick.
Yeah, they have cash coming up, so we might be able to force that nuke.
They came running across with no smoke for Skadoodle, and honestly, not exactly the healthiest of decisions to run in open space versus Skadoodle. 14-9.
Yeah, right now, iBUYPOWER is just absolutely out-aiming them here. CompLexity is looking to be a little bit desperate, just trying to force the issue. And they got a buyout here, so they're not playing for the tie. They got to try and win every single round from here on out to win the game in regular time, not overtime.
Well, at least they've got the advantageous side to attempt it. People were saying, and people being the online communities, were saying that their recent performance versus the new Exertus Old United 5 was telling in the fact that CompLexity's game is currently not on point, though they've had some very good up games and a few low games in between there. Maybe today they wouldn't be prepared, and of course the opposite side of the argument was, well, they were preparing for CEVO, they were already in the land, they don't care about this. Honestly, it looks like Cole's a little rattled.
Yeah, as I said, they get in their feelings a little bit, so that's going to hurt them.
The feels. Daze drops down, and Steel's still there. Does nothing know? Clearly he's still taking it as if somebody is there, and even with the spray control, Steel pops back up and claims nothing. We'll have a double there. Hiko so fast on the triple as Hiko gets dropped. 2 alive for CompLexity. They've seen this story. They've read this book before. Oh, AZK sees the shadow, sprays through, has anger. There's the turn to find Sean Gares, who is not paying attention. The cons were not fast enough. iBUYPOWER's on the game point, 15-9.
Yeah, that play at the end of that is, I definitely feel like CompLexity's a little rattled right now. That call didn't go off, or it wasn't fast enough, or what the deal was. There was plenty of time there. I think it was it Sean Gares that was last, or was it Semphis?
It was Sean Gares that was last.
Yeah, all right. So Sean Gares, that call either didn't happen fast enough, or I don't know what it was, but he should have easily been able to turn around and get AZK off the call.
Massive melee in the tunnels, and Hiko sprays through a deagle, claims steal, and then in the tunnels is promptly sprayed down again by AZK. And on the opposite side of the map, Swag drops anger. So 2 alive for CompLexity. Again, same story. And I ask you this because we've all played competitive before. In a best of 3, you're sort of losing bad and you don't envision yourself winning this. Do you throw away a map? I know you've told me before you play it all the way out, but it looks like it's pretty much over.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of throwing any round or any map at all. I think you always have a chance, as we saw. iBUYPOWER won the eco, which turned the tides of the game. So
I was just showing the stream the evidence of Skadoodle's second half play being absolutely ridiculous. Look at the transition from Ska's number that's showing anger because the UI is not great. But then look at the sudden raise from rounds 20 to 24. What in the statistical hell is going on there? That is ridiculous.
That's how you turn it on. Right
that's how you turn it on.
Turn it on.
Nothing comes into the side, finds Skadoodle, and of course we've cursed him to the point where he can't get a kill if you talk about him that much. He's still alive, nothing is. In the site, fighting by the truck, flashed and thinking that, well, I'm out in open space. I probably won't win this battle. First map goes to iBUYPOWER. Good game, but it started better than it